bureaucratic corruption, besides unscrupulous, and unrestricted capitalist economic development, which has forced the economy along certain unfortunate. Despite all that, if we have somehow managed, it is a miracle that we have survived for 70 years. So why I am saying this is, as a person who for a short while, for 5-6 years, I was a young administrator in two very different parts of India. Manipur, about which I have written one book, Kerala, about which I have written my second book. And I'm just talking about the experiences I feel that many of the things which allowed us to negotiate those 70 years without this breaking up, like many other countries in the world have already broken up. We haven't broken up. I'm not so sanguine that going forward it's also going to be a smooth ride. It's not going to be a smooth ride. Unless we figure out ways of society taking the lead. I'm not talking about government at all here. Government should reflect the wishes and desires of people, of the common man, and come with the common citizen, and come with the proper policies which facilitate these communities working together. So I believe we have examples. We are not talking about some idealized world, some golden age which exists. We are talking about a state like Kerala, and where differences coexist, different religions, and have coexisted for 1,000 years in harmony, with people able to get along with each other. So I think that as a society we need to figure out. So whenever I participate in many discussions like this, and every time I tell them my concern. I also want this harmony to continue. I also don't believe for a moment that diversity is a problem. Diversity is an asset. Diversity is wonderful. It should be celebrated. I agree. I am only not very confident that going forward we will be able to figure, because whenever I look outside and see the way people are, either because of media and or like Dr. Mansoor says, other forces who are willing to exploit these kind of differences and stir up the passions of people, etc., and force one group to fight the other group. That tendency is there. It's very basically there. And so how do we as civil society find ways of politically and socially ensuring that this side of our nature doesn't come out, and that we work as citizens. We have the space of citizenship should keep on expanding, and the other thing should be that's our personal business. What God we believe in, what form we want to worship, what language we want to speak, what cultural habits, what cultural practices we want to pursue. Well, that's our personal business. But we must have the space of our citizenship must keep growing.
I think you're making a case for education, because Kerala spends 15% of its GSDP on education. The national average is 16% now.
I think he's making space for all the
UP
areas.
is 5%, and but Delhi is 26.5%. The year ending 2019.
I was about to ask him a question that what are the areas that you feel the threat lies in, and how we can address those particular issues so that the coexistence continues for another 70 years.
See, so
education.
Education is obviously the way forward. And the other thing is that this, the politics of identity is something which, as citizens and as political people, political persons, we all must guard against be very alert about politics of identity. See, when ideology and ideas start decreasing in importance, the politician who is ideologically bankrupt will go for the easiest thing, which is identity. Which is what he'll say, this guy is speaking a different language, this person is worshipping a different god.
It's an opportunity for him.
It's an opportunity. That's it.
So
we must guard against that.
And another thing is that diversity and all the difference we see are natural. For example, I tell you go to Arab country, they will sleep at 1 a.m. because it's hot. They go for fishing, deep sea diving and pearl cultivation. You cannot adapt it here. Here we have rubber and so many other things, cattle, field. So this diversity is part of the nature. It is part of the nature. It is part and parcel of our inborn. It's inborn. So we have. So how can I reduplicate or replicate what I am seeing in Europe here? It's not possible. It is the country's climate and the nature. So we meet each other. How they tackle the winter there, we learn from them, so that we can execute it here. And then December or sometime like that. How we tackle rainy season, they learn from us.
Absolutely. So diversity is about taking advantage of opportunity. And the problems that result from diversity are those that can be largely countered through education and through understanding. I think we have a joint consensus on that, gentlemen. And any concluding remarks?
No, I think if I'm going to conclude, I would say that one of the purposes of this portal and this platform which Praveen had been speaking about,
Well,
I
both
think
of us have been
I think it's very much served by a colloquium, by a conversation like this. See, what must not happen is, right from the beginning, and what will take away from the value of such a discussion is if there were identity of views, because that would immediately indicate in this case, 5 minds which are thinking along the same lines, have the same experience, have probably gone through the same mill. But the value of such a colloquium, if I were somebody, an outsider listening to this whole thing, is what I could take away from this whole thing would be that on a subject like this, you could look at it from so many different aspects. And there is no unique solution, there is no unique model to be followed. Every society finds its own equilibrium, finds its own way of finding a harmonious way for its members to live a peaceful and gainful kind of life. So I think one of the purposes of such a platform has been served, as I can see, because I can see that the ideas are very different, and it doesn't mean at the end of this discussion that we are all each persuaded about the other person's approach and the other person's way of thinking, etc. But we understand, and that is, I think, if we can end on that note. See, the important point is, it is not, for harmony, it is not necessary that everybody has to agree.
Absolutely.
In fact, like somebody said, I must respect your right to disagree with me. And if we have that kind of basis, we will have a civilized society. I think that's the most important.
Just one. I think I would like to approach the whole issue. India is too complex to unknown. The more local situation. That's my approach. And what we see here. The focus is not India, but we know the Kerala that we know. And in that context, diversity, to my mind, is an objective, it's an aspiration we want to have. Diversity is possible only with education and democracy. And the right of democracy and education are key ingredients of the superior state of being, which is diversity.
So I'm sorry to disagree, sir. I think it is the other way around. Diversity is there with education and everything. It should be unity coming.
Even unity in diversity.
Unity,
This is what.
That's it.
Unity in diversity.
Diversity would mean I can eat beef, or I will eat pork, or I will have a belief, I have no belief, all of which is is diverse.
Yes, but then we should come down to unity, understanding that you and
What
me
is
are
the necessity? My diversity is my unity.
Keep it, sir. But the ultimate idea is you and me are same. Your family and my family are same.
Like the fact that I speak a different language, the fact that I have another God or no God.
But when we go out, it should be unity.
Good. Yeah, there's no conflict at all.
Yeah, there should not be a conflict.
I don't allow you I respect your diversity.
More or less,
You
both of you
diver-
are saying the same thing.
Unity suggests agreement, not there need not be agreement is the point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, you use the word respect. When you identify unity, the respect will go from 10% to 1000%. When you identify that you are as same as me, it is called empathy. The difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is a primitive emotion. You see somebody suffering, you feel sympathized. But empathy is totally different. It's a created, it's a cultivated emotion. You go to the shoes of that person and think like him, act like him, live like him. Then you will understand